And it's processing. It should be there now. Testing, testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. Oh no. How is that still the case? Am I not audible? Awesome. Alright, so a totally impromptu stream tonight because Daddy Jack got time to stream finally, and I'll be playing the Stanley Parable tonight. Of course, it's a game that I've already tried, but this time around is on the Ultra Deluxe Edition, and I want to see if I can beat that. So, we will see. Yeah, I put the chat on like a normal latency, so hopefully it isn't too slow in showing your messages. Anyways, I guess we can just jump into this mess. And this time around, I will remember the subtitles. Some did not agree with me not having them last time. Okay. Have you played the Stanley Parable before? Well, yes, I have. But I haven't finished it. So what, should we say no? I don't know if I'm going to get locked out of anything here. Let's go with no, just for funsies. The closet ending. Uh-oh. My current time. Oh, well, this is tricky. We're close to midnight here. We're gonna... So what, it's just rolling back the clock. Yep. Oh no, that was 11. Ah, never mind. Accessibility settings can be accessed from the main menu. Ah, I see. Tutorial sake. Okay, the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Pause. Yes, I do know Doug, and I have reacted to some of his stuff before, and yes, I found out on stream that his brother coded this. It's amazing.
Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year.
That's incredibly
and
sad.
Although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Well done. Let's give it a try.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Let's see, are there anything new here? Something on the monitors, perhaps? Well, this one... Wow, Serenade access, okay. Huh. Nothing seems to have changed so far.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Okay, we're gonna go for the fun one there.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Broom closet. Can I? No? Oh.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
What if I don't wanna go there? Hell there, TV.
There was nothing here. No choice to make, no path to follow, just an empty broom closet. No reason to still be here.
But what if I don't care? I appreciate the, the lack of insulation on
it was
this
baffling
wall.
that Stanley was still just sitting in the broom closet. He wasn't even doing anything. At least if there was something to interact with, he'd be justified in some way. As it is, he's literally just standing there doing sweet FA.
So is this part of the closet ending that's been mentioned so far? Because
Are you really still in the broom closet? Standing around doing nothing? Why? Please offer me some explanation here. I'm genuinely confused.
you see, I am what can I say? A tool
You
appreciator.
do realize there's no choice or anything in here, right? If I'd said Stanley walked past the broom closet, at least you would have had a reason for exploring it to find out. But it didn't even occur to me because literally this closet is of absolutely no significance to the story whatsoever. I never would have thought to mention it.
What if it is? We keep on rambling about it.
Maybe to you this is somehow its own branching path. Maybe when you go talk about this with your friends you'll say, "Oh, did you get the broom closet ending? The broom closet ending was my favourite." I hope your friends find this concerning.
Oh, why does he change his accent into somebody from Perth? The broom
Coming
closet
to a
ending.
staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
That was fun. I didn't go this way the other time. What is this? Oh, executive bathroom. Can I enter this? Nice. What do we have here? Soap. Oh, picture of the outside. Or is it a factory? Then what? Oh, money in the morning, money in the evening, money for breakfast, money crisp. Well, I guess the boss really cares about one thing, eh? His money. Wait, did you want me to stay inside the closet? This sounds so wrong. Well, we had not reached the ending of broom closet ending. Oh. Well, what do you know? Well, I guess this path is locked now. Well, we can try it again. Anytime now.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number. 2845. But of course,
2845.
Stanley couldn't possibly have known this. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
This is a bit different, isn't it? It didn't show... Wait, what the hell? Wait, what the hell? This didn't happen last time, did it? Or am I confused here? Spooky. Oh no, it is the same. Well, down we go then.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job.
Okay.
Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
The sudden acquiring of, well,
Stanley
autonomy.
walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Okay, let's just go straight forward. Let's get the normal, straightforward ending first. So Stanley pushed the
The
button.
lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Well, Stanley followed the orders.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Oh, the Matrix reference is great here. Mr. Anderson, just push the button.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time?
I will let you know if I need a
He
tip.
was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
Well,
No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
Stanley was a sheep.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the
wow.
cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
What if Stanley didn't want to dismantle the controls? Let us see, what is this? 5? Huh? Oh! Oh, there are different buttons somewhere. To push. But how? What we have here? Console disabled. Interesting. Okay, so this is 1. Let me see. Did I push it correctly? 1, 2. What's the third one? May or may not have hours in this game. Well, I imagine so. It's rather lengthy. 3. Is that a 4th one on top there? How the hell am I supposed to reach that? Is there a path here? You know, it's also dark. Oh. Maybe? No. It's locked. It's locked. The door's locked. Un, dos, tres. I need cuatro. Somehow. And I can't jump in this. So it's kind of hopeless. Huh. Well. I guess it's not for us to achieve it today. They could at least made it so that Stanley could run to his death if that was an issue. Oh! Oh, I could have just jumped down from that thing. Okay, we're gonna do that next time. Anyways, let's adhere to the commands.
And when at last he found the source of the room's power, he knew it was his duty, his obligation, to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for.
And so the game restarts.
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over?
The bullshit ending.
Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold?
Could you imagine
But as
Neo?
sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him. For it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door.
Can you imagine Neo from the Matrix being like, you know what? I don't give a damn. Morpheus, you could do that quest on your own. I'm gonna listen to what the machine says. What if I just stand here? Admire this anime-ish kind of scenery. Well, we are sort of playing it blind. The deluxe edition, at least, I haven't tried ever. I got only like, I think 4 endings or 5 from the main game, at least the first game. And yeah, didn't play it any further. Oh, okay.
Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin.
And I lose control.
The feeling of liberation. The immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
Was he though? Was he really? Well, there comes the achievements. Yet Stanley still made it here. How is that even possible?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Bullshit.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Okay, so I don't know what you were all on about with that broom ending, but let's try it out. In any of the circumstances, there's an alternate path where we can avoid going to the office.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
God, I love this shot so much. Make sure that your slide has a slick blue graphic in the header and throw the level with the text and a productive work environment. Everyone is unique, you most of all. Except you aren't. You're all part of this manufacture. Alright. Open sesame.
Oh no, no, not again. I won't be part of this. I'm not going to encourage you. I'm not going to say anything at all. I'm just going to be patient and wait for you to finish whatever it is you enjoy doing so much in this room. Please take your time.
It takes a lot of courage, a lot of self-reflection to be able to make that dire step, one more powerful than the astronaut ever took, to step out of the closet. And I, for one, will try not to do so now. Oh, it's ruined. Or should I say, like Stewie Griffin? Ruined. You can only do it once. That's unfortunate. Oh, come on. What a buzzkill. He really does do us dirty like this. Okay, well.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Nope.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that.
Oh, yes,
and in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all? None of it made any logical sense.
The leftovers.
And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went?
Peculiar
and for that
indeed.
matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating?
Oh no.
No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream. Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid.
What is this, the Everest?
So he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground.
Okay.
Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up.
Take notes,
How was he
Bethesda. This is how you
remaining
do
so
an actual
lucid?
Starfield.
And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he
Yeah.
thought.
Meta.
And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job.
It's kind of messed up.
Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment, and my wife, and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been.
Oh no.
My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine.
Except-
I am okay.
It isn't. Nothing is okay. Nothing is fine. Everything's messed up. What have I done?
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black.
Huh.
This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
Oh.
Mariella woke up on a day like any other.
Oh.
She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments, she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't.
Oh no.
It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day. The very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life.
Right.
She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body.
F this.
And then she turned
I'm
and
out.
ran.
Okay. Beam me up, voice. What if you do it again?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Door on the left leads to under the office. Now that's hilarious. But the door. Let me in. Never to do it again. Alright.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
It will open after the next time. Wait, what would open after the next time? Oh, the office? Or... no?
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that
Oh my
risk?
god, it repeats
All
again.
because he believed everyone had vanished.
Oh no.
His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All
I
of
thought
my
we'd get a different
coworkers blinking
account.
mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all. None of it made any logical sense.
Oh, okay.
And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations.
Oh,
For example,
that's unfortunate.
why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically?
By pressing escape. Resume the game. Begin again. Okay. Good. Thanks for the tip. Alright then.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way.
Well. 4-2-1. We've seen those combinations before. And 1-2-B4. I wonder what those stands
When
for.
Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Left, right, left, right, left, right. We go to the right.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Oh yeah, the employee lounge. A wonderful place of
Yes,
Meeting.
truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room.
But of course,
Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
yeah, if I could get a drink, that would make the effort a lot better. Yeah.
Yes, really, really worth it being here in the room. A room so utterly captivating that even though all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished, here you sit looking at these chairs and some paintings. Really worth it.
Gotta love this.
At this point, Stanley's obsession with this room bordered on creepy and reflected poorly on his overall personality.
Hey,
It's
stop.
possible that this is why everyone left.
You won't get me to leave
Stanley
the
sat
room
around waiting
with
for
that
more
attitude.
dialogue. But when a long time had passed and there was no more, he decided that the game was trying to send him a message.
Well, you gotta speak louder for that message to come through, because I ain't leaving. Break room is a broom closet. Wait, were you employees? Well, it's a good food for my thought then. Yeah, they are the tools being used for work. Ah, come on. Say something, voice. Say something, voice. Okay, I guess he's tired of me. 10, 5. Huh. That's an interesting thing. Should we take those few steps out? Let's do that.
But at last, he'd had enough of the amazing room and took the first open door on his left to get back to business.
So, yeah. There's that thing there. Or the path downstairs. It's a lot of fuckery that happens, right? If I go here and don't continue straight forward. Let's try to go straight.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
A4. Okay. Yeah. I did this mistake the first time and died. Oh, there's... The red always shows kind of like some exits. So, perhaps if we can make it to the bottom somehow.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about.
Who's that?
Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her.
Ooh, the mysterious she.
This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself. To put your work aside. To let her back into your life. She's been waiting.
The would-be waifu. Huh. And I can't access that. Wait, that looks eerily like the room that I just came in from. Wow, they're all so similar. But that one was entry A4. This is B1. Okay, mental note. Uh-oh. Here we go. Hello, Dogs, is my old friend.
That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this. To reach out to her. If you can truly place your faith in another, then pick up the phone.
This is hella dark. And wouldn't a landline actually require more than just a single wire? My apartment.
Oh, Stanley, is that you? Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven. All right. Okay, there we go. All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all about your day.
That is so creepy.
Gotcha. Oh, come on. Did you actually think you had a loving wife who'd want to commit their life to you? I'm trying to make a point here, Stanley. I'm trying to get you to see something. Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here.
And I can't move. Wait. Oh,
Sorry,
yeah.
but you're in my story now.
That took a dark turn. A slight little bit of a change in his inflection of the voice there that made it way darker. Okay, well, let's go. Let's try it. Hello.
This is a very sad story about the death of a man named Stanley.
No. No. Oh, no. Okay.
Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence.
Oof.
Look at him there, pushing buttons, doing exactly what he's told to do. Now he's pushing a button. Now he's eating lunch. Now he's going home. Now he's coming back to work. One might even feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life.
I did no such thing.
But in his mind, he can go on fantastic adventures. From behind his desk, Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into the unknown, fantastic discoveries of new lands. It was wonderful.
The
And
One
each day
Piece.
that he returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen to him. And so he began to fantasize about his own job. First, he imagined that one day while at work, he stepped up from his desk to realize that all of his co-workers, his boss, everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth. The thought excited him terribly.
Oh, that's weird.
So he went further. He imagined that he came to 2 open doors and that he could go through either. At last, choice. It barely even mattered what lay behind each door. The mere thought that his decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold. As he wandered through this fantasy world, he began to fill it with many possible paths and destinations. Down one path lay an enormous round room with monitors and mind controls. And down another was a yellow line that weaved in many directions. And down another was a game with a baby. And he called it the Stanley Parable.
Oh.
It was such a wonderful fantasy, and so in his head he relived it again, and
Game
then
with a
again,
baby, that
and
is.
again, over and over, wishing beyond hope that it would never end, that he might always feel this free. Surely there's an answer down some new path, mustn't there be? Perhaps if he played just one more time.
Oh, this
But
is
there
painful.
is no answer. How could there possibly be? In reality, all he's doing is pushing the same buttons he always has. Nothing has changed. The longer he spends here, the more invested he gets, the more he forgets which life is the real one.
Press B to go to sleep.
And I'm trying to tell him this, that in this world he can never be anything but an observer, that as long as he remains here, he's slowly killing himself. But he won't listen to me. He
Oh,
won't
no.
stop. Here, watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it.
Yeah, well, I'm not going to attempt the thing of 24 hours, which I think is a complete lie. But yeah, gotta have forced to do this.
You see? Can he just not hear me? How can I tell him in a way that he'll understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself? How can I get him to see what I see? How can I make him look at himself?
Pain. Absolute pain.
I suppose I can't, not in the way I want him to. But I don't make the rules. I simply play to my intended purpose, the same as Stanley. We're not so different, I suppose. I'll try once more to convey all this to him. I'm compelled to. I must. Perhaps, well, maybe this time he'll see. Maybe this time.
Oh no. It's
And
the
I tried
worst.
again, and Stanley pushed a button. And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button. And I tried.
Literally prompted, please die. Oh my god, the voice to Twitter, Andy.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Load your narrator. Oh, wait a minute. What the hell? We died. What is this? Oh.
When Stanley
couldn't
came to a
recognize
set
the
of
room
2
anymore.
open doors, he entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Wow. Yes, this room. What a beautiful room. What a gorgeous, gorgeous room. Thank goodness Stanley had taken this detour on his way to the meeting room. Life without having experienced this room was now too horrible even to consider. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
I will, but I will not
And so
follow
he
your
detoured
instructions.
through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track. But Stanley didn't want to go back to the office. He wanted to wander about and get even further off track. So now in order to get back, he needed to go, from here it's, left.
No, and now he starts messing with me again.
Oh, no, it's to the right, my mistake. No, not the right. Why would I have ever said it was to the right? What was I thinking? It's clearly... Oh dear, would you hold on for a minute, please? Now, let's see, we went down right, left, down, left, right. Yep, okay, yes. I've got it now. This story is absolutely, definitely this way.
Ominous sounds. Okay.
No. This isn't right at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a spoiler. Quick, Stanley, close your eyes. Okay. We just have to get back to, oh, who am I kidding? It's all rubbish now. The whole story completely unusable. How about, rather than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning. And this time, suppose we don't wander so far off track, Okay, from the top.
Okay. This is pain mode activated.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Yeah, like, I wasn't the only one who realized that the room was much longer. At least yeah, whatever. What the hell just happened?
When Stanley... Wait, what? No, I restarted. I swear, I definitely restarted the game over, completely fresh. Everything should be... Oh, did something change? Stanley, did you change anything when we were back in that room with all the monitors? Did you move the story somewhere or... Hold on. Why am I asking you? I'm the one who wrote the story. It was right here just a minute ago. I know for sure that it's here somewhere. Okay, then. It's an adventure. Come, Stanley. Let's find the story.
You mean escape the back rooms? I think I have the game, but I haven't played it though. Huh. Alright. Well. Adventure! Yeah, we're gonna see how far this gets us. Speaking of back rooms, I think this is it.
I'll say it. This is the worst adventure I've ever been on. I can promise you there definitely was a story here before. Do we need to restart the game again? Well, I find it unlikely that we'll ever progress by starting over and over again, but it's got to be better than this. Okay, let's give it a shot. Why not?
Oh, damn it.
All of his co-workers were gone.
You were giving me a maze.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
And then there are no doors at all.
Okay, yep, it's worse. I might be remembering this wrong. It's possible the story is back where we just came from. Why don't we go back the other direction and see if we missed anything?
Well, alright. Oh, and actually the coffee spill is moved. I like the small details there. Let's turn off all of those PCs. Perhaps it'll show us something.
Aha! I knew we'd miss something. The story. Here it comes. No, wait. Never mind. Not the story. Okay, let's head back the other way and retrace our steps.
Oh, you dick.
Now this Well, I'll be honest, I don't recognize this place at all. Is this the story? I don't think so. I can't quite recall, but I believe my story took place in an office building. Is that correct? Do you remember, Stanley? Well, do you know what? Since I've completely forgotten what we were supposed to be doing, how about this? You win! Congratulations!
Yay!
I know you put in a lot of hard work, and it really paid off, so good job. Oh, no. No, I don't feel right about this at all. We both know you didn't put in any actual work for that win. Some people win fair and square, and this was not one of those situations. Okay, I'm getting weirded out by whatever this place is. I don't care what might happen this time. I have to restart.
No. The idiot-proof ending.
All right, I've got a solution. This time, to make sure we don't get lost, I've employed the help of the Stanley Parable Adventure Line. Just follow the line. How simple is that?
Well, you'll be surprised. What actually happens if we step out of line? I fear that the punishment will be very severe. But, well, let's try without first.
You see, the line knows where the story is. It's over in this direction. Onward, Stanley, to destiny. Though, here's a thought. Wouldn't wherever we end up be our destination, even if there's no story there?
Quite.
Or to put it another way, is the story of no destination still a story? Simply by the act of moving forward, are we implying a journey such that a destination is inevitably conjured into being via the very manifestation of the nature of life itself? Whoa. Hang on.
Too
That
meta
got a bit
there.
weird back there? Well, I'd like to apologize. Not sure where I was going with all that. You know what? I think what we need right now is a bit of music to lighten the mood.
Yep. Immersive camera shake. Is this room?
Wait, cut the music, go back and look at that fern. Stanley, this fern will be very important later in the story. Make sure you study it closely and remember it carefully. You won't want to miss anything.
We literally got past this place before. After the death ending there. So what?
Wait, what? We're back at the office? No. Line, you do know we're looking for the Stanley Parable, right? The story? Is any of this ringing a bell?
Oh, well, this is back in the entrance. Oh, actually, now we have access to this room, but this is where we came from. Yeah, this is not good. Oh, what do you know?
No, not again, Line. How could you have done this to us? And after we trusted you, after everything we've been through, you... Oh, I can't take this anymore. To hell with it. Restart. You know what, Stanley? I say forget the adventure line. What's it ever done for us? We're intelligent people, right? Why can't we make up our own story? Something exciting, daring, mysterious.
Wow.
Ooh, this all sounds perfectly doable. Why don't we simply start wandering in, well, I don't know. How about this direction?
Huh? Back in the office. Wait, or what? What opened? Oh, this place. What the hell is this?
Now, yes, this is exciting. Just me and Stanley forging a new path, a new story. Well, it could be anything. What do you want our story to be? Go wild. Use your
Nothing that is
imagination.
circular.
Whatever it might be, Stanley. I'm ready for it.
Yeah, impossible room. Can we avoid doing that? Voice, please. This is the type of thing that freak me the hell. How? How the hell did they code this? It's like playing Control in the oldest house where the geometry is constantly shifting. But hey, at least there you can notice what happens.
Oh no, not you again. Stanley, I'd also like to veto the line from having any role in our awesome new story. No lines or monitor rooms. Just don't acknowledge it, and we should be fine.
But it's a little bit hard not to acknowledge it when it follows my path. Well, it's gone now.
Ah, a choice. We get to make a decision. From here, the story is in our control. How important we mustn't squander the opportunity. In fact, I believe I need a minute to think here. Just walk in circles for a minute. Okay, so I know that each door has to lead somewhere, which means that somewhere at the place where we're trying to go, there must be a reverse door that leads here. And that in turn means that our destination corresponds with the counter-inverted reverse door's origin. So starting from the right, let us ask, will taking the right door lead us to where we're going?
Oh,
And
sure
since the
it.
answer is clearly yes, then by all accounts, the door on the right is the correct one. Another victory for logic. Come, Stanley, our destiny awaits.
That did not make any sense. Especially if the door on the left is not... Okay, well, anyways. What is this? The confusion ending. 18 minutes. Is it as far as I've played the game? No, it's more than that. Or have I been at this for 18 minutes?
Hold up, what's this?
Oh,
The confusion ending. You're telling me that's what this is? It's all one giant ending? And we're supposed to restart the game, what, eight times? That's really how
Jesus.
all this goes? It's all determined?
Yeah.
So now, according to the schedule, I restart again. Then what? Am I just supposed to forget? Well, what if I don't want to forget? My mind goes blank simply because it's written here on this thing, wall. Well, who consulted me? Why don't I get to decide? Why don't I get a say in all of this? Is it really... No, it can't be. I don't want it to be. I don't want the game to keep restarting. I don't want to forget what's going on. I don't want to be trapped like this.
Well, I
I
don't think
won't
that you
restart
can.
the game. I won't do it. I won't do it. I won't do it. And the timer stopped? Does that mean, did we do it? Did we break the cycle? The,
Maybe.
whatever it is that made this schedule?
This is all
How
scripted
would we
again.
even know? Will someone come for us? Will something happen? So, okay. I guess now we just wait. You know, I suppose in some way that this is a kind of story. Wouldn't you agree?
How do you rescue a disembodied voice? How?
I'm not quite sure if we're in the destination or the journey, though they're always saying that life is about the journey and not the destination. So I hope that's where we are right now. We'll find out, won't we? Eventually. Well, in the meantime, if you...
Oh my god. What was that? Hard reset. Well, it's nice to know that there are people who have more authority than the voice that is messing around with me.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Doors? Yes.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Choice lesson. Okay. Well, it's a good thing that my cat wasn't here.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Well, speaking about forgetting, there's one thing that you definitely did not forget. Closing that room.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Let's double check that bathroom again. Is there something new in there? Nope. Still about money. What about this? Oh. Ooh. Huh. Is that a panda? Who does this? Who gets... Wow. Hell yeah. Music to my ears. Ladies and gentlemen, we are on an amazing ride onto the top level. Here on the Elevator Express. We have no idea what's going to happen, but the groove is just too intoxicating to resist grooving along. Even the voice is singing along with me, so that's great. Make the pandas rarer by killing them. Oof. I mean, they're already kind of suicidal, but that doesn't help. Wait. That's all it does? Really? Are you kidding me? What about if we go down? It's just a mood closet. It does nothing. Oh, that's boring. Come now. Does it even move? It doesn't. Who the hell made this? What sadistic mind made something like this? I was really feeling it.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. What could it mean? Stanley wondered aloud to nobody. He began wildly tearing through papers on the boss's desk, pulling books off the shelf, looking behind paintings, desperate for clues to his situation. But his attention was caught by a keypad behind the boss's desk. What could its purpose be? In fact, This keypad guarded the terrible secret that lay buried below his feet. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Okay, you can't enter anything else after that. There are no extra paths out here. It's just down. Okay, well, let's do the would-be escape ending then, and see where it leads us.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
1337.
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
Yeah, don't care.
The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track. At this
Stanley
point,
said no.
Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward,
Using
and
his own
willingly
free will
confront
here.
his death.
The ultra kill ending.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. And so he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life.
Like plucking the eyeballs of a blind man. Who the hell does that?
Farewell, Stanley.
Nope.
"Farewell, Stanley," cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
Oh, wrong way.
And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish?
Well, we will see. It's just straightforward. I wonder what's in... Yeah, well...
When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
Yeah, well, I guess I don't have a body to speak of, except for the one in that single crazy animation. Yeah, I don't think this is actually representative of the actual structure of the labyrinth. You're at least gonna need like 6 times this. Room 1. Oh yeah, it's just a display of all of the things that I could have possibly reached. Button sound. What does number 4 sound like? Well, well, well. Some monitors for me to turn off. Playing some good old games. Backgammon.
When Stanley came to the lift, he travelled upward to the power source at the top of the facility to end this injustice forever. Oh, I don't know. How about they're throwing a surprise party for him for all his button pushing? Does that sound plausible to you?
The outtakes. Okay, well, camera tool, high surveillance. That's one thing that you want to avoid. What else is there? Hey, the freedom ending. That is totally BS. And the countdown desk. What else do we have here? One version of the room, another version of it. Oh, that's just a coffee mug. Okay. I imagined something way worse than that. Narrator email. Congratulations! Oh, I didn't manage to read through that. Fellow walk in the park watching the sunset, and that's it. Push the button. The Wong Tong. Wong Tong? Seriously? One? Warzone? Huh? Aidan Bain. Is this a corporation? The one they would work for? Warzone. Early development, we designed an ending where Stanley will end up on a battlefield fighting aliens. Is that an actual ending? Yo, if this is implemented in the deluxe edition, I want to try that. The action game would become sentient and wage war against the narrator. We real time. Ultra deluxe announcement. Blah blah blah. Nothing that we haven't seen before. Oh, it almost made it look like he was printing paper there. So, old lady wants us to just go straight forward to the left and up this staircase and enter this room to the right.
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free.
Is she the narrator's boss? I
Can
don't
you
think
see?
she is, though.
Can you see how much they need one another? No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen. But listen to me. You can still save these two. You can stop the program before they both fail. Push escape and press quit. There's no other way to beat this game. As long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now and it'll be your only true choice. Whatever you do, choose it. Don't let time choose for you. Don't let...
Well. We'll just try again. Well, there are new things happening in the different rooms now. It's just a shame that we can't access any of them. New content. Wait. Say what? 2849. We can try that either. Mental note 2849.
Oh, new content? What does that mean, new content?
What? The Half-Life feeling that this game gives you is...
Hello, and thank you for playing the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. As you may know, the Stanley Parable was a video game released in 2013 on home computers.
Who is that voice?
After receiving critical and commercial success, it was expanded upon in 2022 with the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, a reimagining of the game for consoles and home computers. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe features exciting new content that broadens and expands the world of the Stanley Parable, delighting audiences the world over.
Okay.
Please, step inside and see what thrilling new adventures await in the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Oh, well, this sounds delightful. I'm very excited to see the thrilling new Ultra Deluxe content. Okay, so far it's an elevator. Nothing special yet, but I'm sure it's just the beginning of a mesmerizing adventure.
But it's literally a brick wall that I'm staring at. Why is it...
Is it broken? What's going on here?
Yeah.
Should we be moving somewhere or... Oh, there we go. All right, finally, at long last, it's on to the new content. I've never been more ready. Let's do it. I have to say, initial impressions of Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, mostly tedious. It's as if, Oh, okay. Let's see the content. Give me the content, Stanley.
It seems a little bit more excited than
All
I
right.
am, even.
All right, let's see. It's the jump circle.
Huh? Oh, we finally get the ability to jump. Are you serious? Oh my god. Why is this song coming in my head? Stamp on the ground, jump, jump. Oh, okay, I gotta stop. That's way too nostalgic. That's it. Revolutionary new content. Wasted jumps. Say what? Wait.
Is that it? Surely that's not all the new content. There has to be something else, right? Goodness, another elevator. Stanley, I have to say, Initial impressions of this game are not positive. It's just elevators and jumping. Is this what passes for exciting new content?
Yep.
If this is new content, then I could just read you the whole dictionary. There's 20 hours of new content right there. Hell, I could count to 30 trillion. You could put that on the box. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, now with over 1,000 hours of new content.
I see, it's a
And
spoof on...
Oh, wait. There's more.
on
Very
DLCs.
good. Yes. I knew there had to be something else. Let's see it. I'm ready for whatever it is.
Oh wow, it's just extra large this time. Thank
That's
you for
it?
enjoying.
Oh, you've got to be kidding me. You see, Stanley? This is what happens when greedy video game developers with no respect for their fan base rush a cheap expansion to market for no reason other than to make an easy dollar. And don't get me started on the level of craftsmanship that's gone into it. In fact, I'm looking right now at the game's achievements, and it's hard to believe one of them actually says, "Test achievement, please ignore." What quality assurance department signed off on this? I'm infuriated and I'm offended, and I intend to find these people on Twitter and hold them personally accountable. It's my fault, Stanley. I built up too much anticipation around the new content, I'm
It
afraid.
works.
It could never have lived up to such expectations.
Upgrade your hardware to an RTX 4090.
If you're still with me, why don't we just reset the game and we'll try to get back to what the Stanley Parable is really about. No frills, no gimmicks. Just you and me having a great time together like always. What do you say, friend?
Oh, it's just rebooted me back, okay. Well, voice? Well, you were going for the typical adventure, but I think that you messed up something here. Well, at least I got the mug. I hate Mondays. Yeah, I feel that. A snapshot to how it usually is.
Psst! Stanley! Come over here! In the vent! I want to show you something!
Okay. Can I crouch? It does it automatically. Well, okay, that's weird. Good lord. What the hell? Coffee note. Uh-oh. You're truly sus.
Okay, you remember how cheap and unsatisfying the new Ultra Deluxe content turned out to be? Well, it got me thinking about the past, and how much better the Stanley Parable used to be. So I made something special and tucked it away here where the game's developers won't find it.
What
Just
the-
our little secret. Take a look.
My dude, did you just grade Arx Fatalis? Oh, wow, that's pretty.
I call it the Memory Zone. It's where I've been storing all my favorite memories so I can relive the peak experiences of my life whenever I want. Experiences like the launch of the Stanley Parable on PC.
Aha. So you see, as serene as this may look, it could be very cultish, like Midsommar kind of scenario here. Please don't let there be any wailing women that are pregnant in there. That's always a bad sign.
You see, Stanley, doesn't the Memory Zone remind you of how wonderful Stanley Parable was before it was sullied with a cheap re-release? Remember back in October of 2013, when the game originally launched? Back then, video games had integrity. Back then, it all meant something. Oh, the waste.
Award-winning. What do we have here? Just pictures of the same thing over and over. Back in the days of Morrowind. 2013. When did the horse armor drop? Was it in 2006 or 7? I want to say 7, but it should have been a bit earlier than that. Right? The first DLC, I think, was from... Total Annihilation? Yeah. Oh, which actually reminds me, Seth has a review on Total Annihilation. I still haven't watched that. I should check that out. Go outside. Aww. How cute. What did you say? Business leader pushing election council allies. Los Angeles Times, the Stanley Parable deals tough choices. Oh, did it actually make it to the LA Times? That's nice.
Je suis dans la même horizon, seul sur l'abri des loups, et je n'attends plus que toi, mon amour.
Why is he speaking French?
And over here is where I keep reviews of the Stanley Parable. Like this stunning triumph of games journalism, 10 out of 10 from Destructoid.com. James Stephanie Sterling writes, and I quote, "Where so many games that aspire to be more than games end up less than any form of art, Stanley Parable strives and then succeeds to be every game ever created."
Okay.
Did you hear that, Stanley? Every game ever created. That's how grand and all-encompassing the original Stanley Parable was. It was literally every game ever created. It was Skyrim, it was Persona 3, it was all of them, and now it's nothing. It's no games at all. It isn't even the Stanley Parable anymore. It's just a husk now.
A lifeless
husk with an hour of new elevator content.
Oh. A cheap hour at that. If that elevator is to be taken into account. Which I don't think it is. Oh. Person of the year. Wow, wow, wow. Why do I have the weird feeling that this thing should lead somewhere? We'll give it a look in a bit. But first, let's explore a little bit more. Smiley face. Globe.
Here's another moving passage, this time from GameSpot.com. The Stanley Parable is both a richly stimulating commentary on the nature of choice in games and one that offers some of the most enjoyable, surprising, and rewarding choices I've ever been confronted with in a game. 9 out of 10. Don't you get it, Stanley? The game was perfect. It didn't need anything else. It didn't need new content. It just needed to be left alone, to spend the rest of time collecting dust in the hallowed hall of beloved video game memories.
Now I have the faintest idea that these reviews are just going to get darker and darker as they keep on going down in rating. Right? And the fake stares. Well, why did you block the door then? Is there meaning to this? I might.
These were simpler times, Stanley. But I wouldn't give to go back, to have it all over again. Wait, hang on. I don't recall this part of the memory zone before. What's this? What's down here? Oh no, God, no. Stanley, it's a collection of reviews from Steam, the online video game distributor. I haven't looked at these in years. I can't even imagine what's being collecting down here.
The real
Surely
reviews.
these reviews were glowing as well, weren't they?
The real reviews. Let's go.
Honestly, I could not be bothered to play this game to full completion. The narrator is obnoxious and unfunny, with his humor and dialogue proving to be more irritating than entertaining. Unfunny! I'm not trying to be funny.
Whoa.
I'm trying to make a serious work of art. I suppose I could write up a handful of gags to insert into the Stanley Parable, but the game is already such a densely layered web of profound philosophical insights that I can't even imagine where I'd have the room to stick them.
Yo, the visualization of actual Steam. The Steam wasteland. That is the comment section of games. Ooh. Overwhelmingly negative. This is what it feels like to step into the Starfield review section.
Okay, let's see what this one says. While the idea for the game is good, for someone who prefers non-linear games, this preachiness gets annoying fast. Preachy? Stanley? I'm not preachy, am I? You can tell me if I'm preachy. Honestly, you can. Oh, goodness. This is actually quite shocking for me. To be honest, I had always thought of the game's dialogue as being rather terse to begin with. You can't know how much fluff I cut from the game to get it to feel as light and airy as it... Well, I always thought it did, but maybe it wasn't. Dear, what an awful memory to have to hold on to. These black marks are my otherwise unimpeachable track record.
That's kind of a badge of honor.
Like a failure.
To have
like I let these people down.
Your negative
Perhaps
comments.
The Stanley Parable isn't quite as sterling as I always remembered.
Just put there for ages to be remembered. Noodle Shaft.
What's this one got to say? You constantly have to stop doing anything so the narrator can catch up with his long-winded explanations of what's happening. I wish there was a skip button.
Patronizing voice.
A skip button?
Oh, no, it's not funny.
Well, yes. Yes, I think we can do that. If I'm truly too preachy, then maybe letting you skip ahead for just a moment, surely it couldn't hurt. Not if it means we can strike these negative reviews from the record. Only positive reviews of the Stanley Parable. That's my motto today, and it's always been my motto. I'd do anything for the customer, Stanley. Yes, a skip button we shall have.
Okay.
And here it is. Go ahead and give it a shot. I'll pop you forward in time so that the second my incessant droning starts to bore you, with just the push of a button, you'll have zipped right past it. It's what the players have been asking for, and I'm very proud to have delivered. No more listening to me rambling on and on and on. No, 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 no. The Stanley Parable is a game for the people. And if the people want silence, then by goodness, that's what they're going to get. Well, don't sit around waiting for me to shut up. Go ahead and make me shut up. Here, we'll pretend that I've just begun an interminable monologue, and it goes something like this. The story and the choices, or what have you, and therefore, by becoming it is, so on and so forth.
Okay, just for the simple sake of you sounding like Elon Musk.
Oh, you're back, you see. You were only frozen in time for a few minutes, but it was plenty of time for me to deliver a long, rambling monologue full of unnecessary verbal flourishes and lengthy ruminations on the nature of choice in video games. Of course, I happen to believe it was perhaps one of my more profound such ruminations. Not that, of course, you need a description of it, but if I had to describe it, I'd say it was perhaps less of a rumination and more of a treatise. Or maybe a manifesto. Look, I'll outline it for you very briefly, and you can tell me what you think. Okay, so my theory is that any choice you've ever made is simply a series of choices made by the person who you are, or were, or will be at Well there, sport. You really did catch me rambling on a bit, didn't you? But that's the power of the button. The minute I start to go off on a thoughtless display of self-absorption, it's right at your fingertips to go poof, and it's all over. Oh, I can't wait to see what Cookie 9 will say about this, and whether they'll edit the rating of their Steam review, or at least change some of the wording, perhaps. To be honest, I don't even know if one can change their review in the first place. I guess I should become better educated on exactly how Steam works. Perhaps that would have been the smart thing to check on before I went about this whole exercise of making the skip button. Although I have to imagine that after seeing this exciting new technology at work, surely whoever it is runs Steam will instantly run out and implement a new feature to make it possible to edit one's review, merely because of this very situation. Yes, I think that's quite likely. Or perhaps they'll simply grant this particular user the ability to change their review, so that the feature is not widely abused. No,
Yeah.
I would even be okay with Steam
it ever?
altering this particular review so that it reads as something more beneficial. Something along the lines of, this game is the best game. Let me start over. How about this? From the ashes of depravity. Okay, welcome back, Stanley. Now, I should say that the amount of time the button has been skipping through is becoming longer and longer. That last one was, well, I want to say maybe 30, 45 minutes.
God.
It's not unendurable by any means, but it's, well, there's
a
really
bit of
only
a
so much I can
ramble
ramble
there.
on to myself about. I know, it's shocking, isn't it? But at any rate, I do suggest that we not press...
I kind of feel like this is calling me out somehow. It's like me when I'm pausing, trying to explain something from a video that I'm reacting to. My attentions tend to drag on. To be totally fair. But yeah.
the button again. I think the skip button has been aptly demonstrated, and we can say goodbye to it and just... Wait, how do we get out of here? Where did
question.
the door go? Wasn't there a
Oh.
door that led into this room? I do feel quite certain that there was one here before.
Yeah, there was.
How else would we have gotten into the room in the first place? I don't think one can enter a room without a door of some sort, or a window or something like that. Do you see a window anywhere? A porthole? A sufficiently large...
Spawn me somewhere.
Stanley, please don't push the button again. It's been 12 hours. You've just been frozen there. I don't know why the skips are getting longer, but they're really, truly getting longer, and my God, there's no way out of the room. Stanley, the door is gone. It's completely gone. I've looked at it from every angle. I've checked every one of those walls 1,000 times, and there's no door, Stanley. There's no door. There's just you and the button, and if you keep pressing it, I have no idea what will happen. I have no idea how long I'll be made to sit here, and more than anything else, I don't know how to stop you from pressing the button again. I can't control
Don't
anything in this
talk.
room, Stanley. I can't touch it, and I have to believe, I have to know that sooner or later, no matter how much I plead with you, you're going to press the button again. Why would you? I've been thinking and thinking, and I don't know what I can do to convince you otherwise. Oh, my God. And it's all because of those reviews that I couldn't get out of my head. I just couldn't ignore the negative feedback. Why was it so important for me to fix the... Oh, Stanley, you're back. You're back. Oh, my goodness. I have someone to talk to again. Stanley, I think it's been a week. Or 2 weeks. I've been sitting here all that time. Just sitting here. Not a single person to speak with.
Just
And you
watering
think
the
that
plants.
that's just how it's always been, right? Me talking and you saying nothing. Would you think that it's exactly the same as always? Doesn't that feel like what we've already been doing? Me just talking? But it isn't, Stanley. It isn't the same at all. It
Turn
isn't
on
even
no
close.
clips.
Because I know you can't hear me once you push that button. That's what I'm realizing now, Stanley. I'm realizing that I needed to know that someone was listening.
Mate. Seriously.
Oh, hello. It's you. You're here again. Welcome. I have had time to think about you and about us and about everything we've been through. I've had so much time. I stopped keeping track after a year. Have you ever sat down in one place
year?
and not moved for one entire year? Let me describe it for you. To begin with,
Voice.
there is only regret. There is only the turning wheel.
You know what to do. Just get us out of here. Is he asleep? What happened? Well, we're gonna press that button again. Fire alarm. Somebody. Can somebody please take the batteries out? No? Okay, I'm gonna press the button again then.
But they didn't understand the game was never
God, he
meant to be
talks.
funny. It was meant to have a point. It was meant to speak to the human condition. But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed, they gnashed their teeth and said, entertain us. It wasn't enough. They had to...
Wow. Still nothing.
The end is never the end, 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 is never the end.
They don't pay this VA enough. At least I hope that they paid him enough. I really wonder if he actually does ramble on for 40 or so minutes. That would be insane. Hey! Finally it's breaking down. It's like Half-Life now. The tides of time washes everything away. How many centuries? A millennia? One more, and perhaps we might have a crack in the walls. That's a pretty sturdy building. Let's be totally fair here. Great construction. It lasted for I don't know how long, but quite a long time. Oh, is it only just now that you realized that it was getting existential? So, can we assume that Stanley isn't human? Okay, I don't need to spend much time here before it turns into a horror story. Ooh, the noises. Hey! And the button stopped working, but we have a way out. Into the ether. Jeez. Well, okay, end of the world much here. I did not see this coming. Oh, I could press it once more. And we reload. Back to the office. Okay, Finally.
Just a step through this door, Stanley thought to himself, that's all I need. If I can make it through this door, I can make it through them all.
Well, no more new content, I guess. Well, okay.
Oh, good. You notice my sign. Yes, I have something very exciting to show you.
It literally skipped to the end of time. Yeah. Okay, so we can trace our path back here.
You see, Stanley, I've been reflecting on the Stanley Parable and about how roundly disappointing this ultra deluxe version has turned out to be. The original Stanley Parable was a landmark, and any new content for it should live up to that legacy. So forget this ultra deluxe nonsense. I say we take it one step even further. Which is why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever, the Stanley Parable 2. Yes, you see, isn't this far superior to a measly re-release with a few minor additions? Think of all the new territory we'll cover with a fully fledged sequel. An entirely new experience, built from the ground up. Why, there are so many possibilities. It could go in so many different directions. This is what fans have truly been asking for.
Is it going to be like City Skylines too? Do we save those? Well, how many languages do we have here? 12.
Calling it the Stanley Parable 2 is just so much catchier than Ultra Deluxe, don't you think? Ultra Deluxe? What does it even mean? But the Stanley Parable 2, now that's an artistic statement right there. It's future-oriented. It screams progress and innovation and long-term franchising potential.
Oh ho ho. They're back. The two doors. Ooh, where? Where? I'm actually excited to see them now. Where are they?
Now, to be clear, I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be, but let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it. I figure that if I can loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts, that surely the game will sort of naturally spring up around them. It'll all work itself out. Game development is much more of a fuzzy magic than anything scientific or logical, really.
Who took the red marker? Me. This is the way that you troll your friends at an office place. Sequels are good. Portal 2, Half-Life 2. We'll never get a third one. Gaben can do whatever he wants with Steam. They'll never provide for the third. Although there are rumors about there being something in the works. Imagine it. Yeah, there was a reboot planned. But yeah, whatever. Batman Arkham Asylum 2, DVD. Oh yeah, and then we got Baldur's Gate. Which technically one could say is living in kind of that universe, but yeah. Doom 2, Aladdin 2, Return of Jafar. Was that a good game? No, it wasn't. Dark Souls 2. Hey. Okay, now to be totally fair, Dark Souls 2 is not as bad as people make it out to be. This way to the show floor. as long as we don't bust into a dance sequence like we did in Alan Wake 2, another great sequel, then I'm good. Except for the song was really good. Just the dance choreography were kind of weird. But props to oh my god, what's his name? There's literally a YouTuber who was hired by Remedy to choreograph that. We watched one of his videos once. Oh jeez, I feel embarrassed for not remembering him. Oh damn, sorry, not wanting to misgender here.
Here we are. Go on, try out some of the new features.
Spilling coffee? The button that says the name of the player that is playing the game. Wow.
For the Stanley Parable 2, I asked myself, what do players really want? And of course, the first and most obvious answer is that they want to be individually recognized and validated as people. So with that in mind, my first addition to the game is this button which speaks the name of the person playing the game. Isn't that wonderful?
Jim.
Sorry, I should have clarified. Right now, the button only says the name Jim. But of course, in the final game, this button will say your name, whatever name that is. Here, let's have you role-play as Jim to really simulate the full experience of this feature. Just play along. I promise you'll love it. Okay, here we go. Let's take a deep breath, clear your mind, forget whoever you are, and simply become a person named Jim.
Okay.
I want you to imagine yourself living as Jim, sleeping and waking as Jim, falling in love and being heartbroken as Jim, seizing all of the world's possibilities as Jim, and as Jim watching your dreams crumble into dust. Do you feel it deeply? Are you really, truly Jim right now? If so, then please step forward and press the button.
My name is Jimothy the Third, and I feel like a piece of shit.
Jim.
Yes, you see? What a thrill, what a rush. That was you. The button described you. Do it again, do it again.
Jim.
Ooh, it hits even harder the second time. If this were the only new feature in the Stanley Parable 2, it would still be worth the money. Let's take a break from the Jim button. I'm too emotionally drained from all of this personal validation.
Wow. Jim Bob. I do appreciate the fact that clicking still sounds like a mechanical
only people
keyboard.
named Jim to play the Stanley Parable 2. That would actually save me the work of finishing this feature.
Taste the sequel. Oh. Oh, how the hell did I kick up my drive? Okay, anyways. What does it say? Oh. Epilogue. We'll come back to this in a bit. Please, no screenshot. Ah, very clever with the phone sound effect. Merch. Did I actually sell Stanley Parable t-shirts? Like IRL.
Okay, I'll be honest, I haven't yet decided on this one. I think that in the new version, the office could use a bit of decoration, like balloons. But I'm undecided on Get Well Someday and Happy 12th Birthday. Which would you go with?
Get well someday. Well, let's try this.
You know, sometimes when you solicit another person's opinion, it makes you realize that you knew which one you actually really wanted all along. Get well someday it is.
Well, okay then. My opinion has been ignored.
Or actually, maybe I should have gone with... No. No, I've made my decision. We're moving on.
This is like going to a convention simulator. Except I can literally smell freshness here. It's not like going to a con. People do need to learn how to wear a deodorant. Or take a shower. It just keeps going. What keeps going? The crust of the earth? Or what? Looks like that. A little bit of geology there. We have whole entrance, the curvature of space, and educational use only. What the hell? Turbine. What?
Stanley, here's an idea that I'm truly fond of. It's never been done before in a video game. This is in fact a hole that you can fall down forever. That's right. Infinite falling.
What?
You can fall until the end of time if you like. A stunning leap forward for video games as a medium.
Why do I not believe this? Whew. I always dreamt of jumping straight down into the ether, so
You see, isn't it wonderful? One of my more ingenious concoctions, if I do say so. Now then, since you've gotten to see the infinite hole, you can press the teleport button to pop back up to the top, and we can continue onward. Now, I don't mean to be a bummer, but I do recommend you use the teleport button to go back to the top.
well, you said
Maybe
that
do it on the sooner rather than later spectrum of things.
wasn't the whole infinite, mate.
Okay, Stanley, I don't know quite how to say this tactfully, but it's possible that I slightly exaggerated the infinite nature of the hole. Is it a very, very deep hole? To be certain it is. It's an extremely deep hole. I don't want anyone to say that it isn't an astonishingly deep hole. It is. Is it infinite? Well, that sort of depends on your definition of infinity. From one perspective, the infinite is merely philosophical in nature. It's more of a... Okay, well, good for you. You found the bottom of the hole. You found me out, Stanley. I'm a liar and a cheat, and you're so clever. Look, I think the issue here is just that you're unusually fascinated by falling. What normal person actually wants to fall infinitely?
Everybody.
I figured the hole was as deep as anyone would actually need. Don't you put this on me. Maybe you're the problem. Look, things got a little heated there. I think we both said some things we didn't mean. Why
I
don't
said
we just
nothing.
put all this behind us and agree to just call the hole mostly infinite? If that works for you, then go ahead and press the teleport button to warp up to the top of the hole and we can move on. I'll just be up here when you're ready.
Okay. Hey there, man.
Great. Now, I'm very excited to show you even more of my ideas for the sequel.
This is the Stanley Parable. Well, I guess we should say Stanley Parable 2. We tried an infinite hole, which wasn't infinite. Let's see what other half-assed inventions he's created. Collectibles. Oh, it does rotate. It wasn't just visual trickery, it was rotating. No, that looks fishy. Let's go over here. There was something interesting to me. Uh-oh. This is very artsy.
Oh, goodness. Stanley, this is very awkward. I hate to do this, but before you leave, you really should go to both the exhibits for the bucket and the collectibles. You see, there's a surprise I was going to spring on you later, and it involves both of them. And I really do hate to break the illusion, but it's important that you go see the collectibles and the bucket, okay? All right, I'll get out of your hair now.
Where was the secret entrance? Here.
An epilogue would be fun, wouldn't it, Stanley? Yes, it will go at the end of the, well, we'll figure that out later.
What is this? Mostly infinite hole, a setting world champion. Free achievement. Where? Free new easy achievement. It just works. Okay.
Now, here's something special. You remember that broken test achievement that got
No.
left in the game on accident?
No.
Well, I'm developing a technology to simply give... Yes. You see, you'll come to this lever, and when you pull it, the achievement will be given to you. It's as simple as that. What else? What other exhibits haven't we seen yet?
Okay, we'll try it. Okay, well, it's just a machine.
Okay, perhaps I should have clarified. This is technology that will exist. Right now, the achievement is still fully broken. I'm not a wizard, Stanley, but I guarantee it will be fixed in the sequel to at last satisfy the hordes of ravenous fans all over the world who have been uproariously demanding this feature. Gamers, we hear you, and I promise it will happen.
Best game dev ever. Yeah, he's running on that QA tester source. Okay, now let's check those collectibles out before Mr. goes on the fit.
Ah, collectibles. Now it's a real video game. In the Stanley Parable 2, you'll run around gathering up these miniature Stanley figurines. And what's truly innovative is that there will be no reward for collecting all of them. I don't want to stifle the intrinsic joy of watching a number go up. You simply collect all of them, and then you move the hell on with your unremarkable life.
What the fuck? Dude. You'll have me stuck in space. Well, at least I'm getting closer. Start on the wood. Oh. Oh my. Yeah, that was unsettling.
God, it really is the worst when you collect everything in a video game and then they give you a big fancy reward for it. Absolutely tragic.
Hey,
You know
jump
what?
circles today.
Let's bring the jump circle back for Stanley Parable 2 as well. It's a... Oh, wait. You already spent all your jumps the first time we saw the jump circle?
Yep.
Oh, well. I suppose it can just be a nice decorative piece then.
Oh, come on. That sucks. Well then, upstairs we go then. Well, it's not even available to me. What the hell? Okay, then where was the way out? Reassurance bucket. For what?
A common complaint of the Stanley Parable was that it was confusing and paradoxical, that it engendered a chaotic sense of reckless despair in those who played it. Well, I'm happy to say that after much consideration, I've engineered a clever solution to this fundamental problem with the game.
Reassurance bucket.
It's the Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket.
But there's
You see,
nothing.
Stanley, anytime you're holding the bucket, a sense of calm and ease will fill your mind and your heart. It's true. As long as you hold on to the bucket, the many disorienting contradictions of the Stanley Parable will feel perfectly normal and perhaps even comforting. You may even come to long for the gentle embrace of jarring cognitive dissonance while the bucket is in your arms. And to be honest, it's a much more convenient solution for me than actually redesigning the game to be less uncomfortable. Can you imagine what a pain in the ass that would be? Yes, the bucket is the perfect solution.
Mate,
Come on, give it a try.
So funny.
Can you feel it? The glow of comfort, even in the face of crushing despair, must already be sweeping through your body. And in fact, can I say that I do believe the bucket lends you an air of charisma as well? I think that just holding it has made you the slightest bit more attractive as a person.
Wow.
The benefits of the bucket seem to go on, don't they? All this and more await you in the Stanley Parable 2.
So this release is nothing but like
Does
a
anyone
huge
give out awards
troll.
for most enjoyable bucket in a video game? That really should be an award if it isn't already.
Imagine having to match and rig all of those things just simply to troll people. That's quite something. It's quite the achievement that they made there. You can scan the merge QR code for funny videos. Oh. Nice. There's more infinite hole stuff. Oh, with the bucket. Oh, perhaps. Okay, sure. Let's try it out. He didn't reset the jumps, did he? Nope. Down in the hole. It's like a pond. Will it be filled with waters now?
Oh, for heaven. You see, I was right. The problem is you. The problem is that you like holes too much. Not normal. A normal person would have said, yep, that's an infinite hole right there, goes on forever till the end of time. Don't need to see it all, but not you. Oh, no, 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 no. You have a weird sort of... Oh. Did the hole
Shorter.
seem even shorter to you this time?
Yep.
I couldn't help but feel like you spent a little less time in there than you did before.
And
I
I
mean,
could actually see the top.
admittedly, I didn't make an infinite hole, but I didn't think it was that not infinite. Well, I suppose once again there's nothing to do here. If you decide you've had enough of the hole, you can hit the teleport button and come join me up above. Had enough? I'm positively thrilled. Gosh, how could I have guessed? You're back in the hole. If this starts to become a thing where... Wow. Okay.
It's even shorter.
Yes. I'm starting to become extremely certain that the hole is not only not infinite, but that it's growing steadily less and less infinite. I suspect that I'm starting to hit the point where it's no longer feasible to call the hole infinitely deep, even by the lax overall standards for accountability in marketing. What's going on here? Stanley, I have no explanation for the uncertain nature of the hole's length. Here, let's try something. Let's pop back up to the top, and we'll see if it gets any shorter. Well, there it is. The shame of my lie has come to haunt. How is this still appealing to you? I know you're obsessed with holes, but at this depth, I just can't see this scratching the itch.
Whee!
Oh, who am I to judge? You just do whatever it is you're here to do and hit the teleport button when you're ready to move on.
So what? It's
Is
not
the,
working.
Teleport button not working?
What have you
You
done?
sure? Well, I mean, I really don't have an explanation. It was working just a moment ago. Try it again.
Troll.
Still nothing? Well, I suppose there is one thing I can do to fix this. I'm out. Goodbye, Stanley. You couldn't bear to be away from the hole, and now you'll get more time with it than you could ever have asked for. It's a win for everyone. You get to be with the hole, I get to do literally anything else. Take care, Stanley. I hope you and the hole have a wonderful rest of eternity together.
Oh no. Come back. Oh, what's that? What the hell was that sound? Yeah, well, Oh. Well, it's not like I could leave. Well, the hole is taking me on a journey, I guess. Is this the true ending of the game? Wow. Now this actually sounds good. Just waiting for the beat to drop. Those dramatic anime angles.
My head's stronger. Now you're no longer using up this space of mine. My head's stronger. Now you're no longer using up this space of mine. My head's strong.
Okay.
afsluiten nu geweest die waar ik speelt verweerlijk no eerst dat ze zo beslikken echt wat met er als het is zo meneer veel was er heel maar heel lezen hier have lost sterren is the collector's just on fit see miss the fatter with it there is nowhere there no sharp was no more
Speaking backwards.
ja pregnant is er no strips of net it's no more was no more no more Steve Edel and met for fear coming in news the rough news was right
Stanley? Stanley! Oh good, you're awake. It seems you had sort of dozed off there, drifting away into dreamland. But we can't have that, Stanley, because this hole is just so darn fascinating that I want you to be wide awake for every second of it. You don't want to miss a single moment.
Oh,
so
no.
How about if I just pop in from time to time and wake you up to keep you really, truly focused on the hole? From the
No,
looks
I
of
was
things,
focused on the
you and
hole.
I will have many, many years here in this hole, and I'm looking forward to all of them. Stay alert, Stanley. I'll be back. Toodlepip.
Oh well. And back to the eater we go then. Oh no. Hey!
Here we are. Go on. Try out some of the new features.
I was... Pause. I wasn't done with that hole. Oh wow, nice perspective drawing there, or picture. Nice. No screenshots. What is this?
So, Stanley, what do you think? Do you like all of the new features? Yes, I know it's not exactly clear yet how exactly these features will come together as one single coherent video game, but I can feel it in my soul. It's going to work. There's definitely a good game in there somewhere. Say, let's do an experiment. I'll arrange these new features together, and we'll see whether or not it coheres into a meaningful gameplay experience.
Okay.
Okay.
What have you
Are
in
you
store
ready?
for us?
Here it is. I give you the Stanley Parable 2.
A slight bit underwhelming there, buddy.
Well, I mean, there's potential here, right? It's sort of... Okay, never mind. Hold on. Let me do a different arrangement. Okay, yes, this is much better. I feel good about this. Here we go. Version 2. Who am I kidding, Stanley? This isn't a coherent video game at all. It's a lot of gags. And I do very much enjoy creating gags, but they don't add up to anything. I wanted more than anything to create a sequel that would capture all the magic of the first game. I wanted fans to love it. No matter how good these gags are, they won't stand on their own. They would need the structure and the gameplay of the original. Wait, maybe that's it. I can take the original Stanley Parable and simply, well, insert a few of my new features into it. Tastefully, of course. With respect. With care for the vision and integrity of the original game.
Control
Would it
Alt.
possibly work? I suppose it could. But it would need a really, really tremendous title screen. A title screen that says with bold and uncompromising conviction, "This is the Stanley Parable 2." Let me see if I can whip something up. All right, perfect. Go ahead. Take a look.
Wow. Now that is meta. We then get a brand new office.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Yep. Sounds
All of
very
his
much like
co-workers
streamers.
were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply
AKA
missed a
me
memo.
very soon.
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Get well soon. Oh, sometimes. That's what I said.
Stanley felt the bucket calling to him, begging him to pick it up. Why was he not doing it?
Bucket? Where? Oh, God. Simply just blitzed past it.
Stanley picked up the bucket. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Now listen. What if I become defiant?
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better than the meeting room? Yes, Stanley thought to himself. Yes, perhaps it truly was. How insightful the bucket turned out to be. No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo. Good,
Said the bucket.
now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact.
I wonder if one
He was
can
firmly
jump down
convinced
there.
that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
I think I should be able to survive that, couldn't I?
In here.
Said the bucket.
Go into this dark room over here.
Stanley once again obeyed blindly.
Dark room. What dark room? We've already done this. Will the bucket change the outcome?
Now pick up the phone.
This is the sad story of a man named Stanley and his bucket. Once upon a time, I gave Stanley a bucket because I thought he was lonely and could use a friend. And then, very distressingly, he began to believe the bucket could speak to him.
Oh, come on. You did this to me.
The Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket was merely meant to provide the comforting glow of companionship. It doesn't literally talk and give you orders. Whatever Stanley is hearing the bucket say to him is just in his head.
Mm-hmm. But I can't do anything about it though. Can I now?
Lately, I've been concerned about him. Wouldn't you be concerned as well? To see him delusional like this, obsessing over an inanimate metal object? I want to say something to him, but I don't know how I can convince him. I don't know if he'll listen to me.
Just say something.
Well, I'll try anyway. Stanley, can you hear me? Listen to me. It's just a bucket. It can't think, it can't talk. All it will ever truly do for you is effectively transfer a liquid from one location to a different location. That's it. It doesn't do anything else.
Yeah, I know how buckets work.
You see, he's not listening. He's still taking orders from the bucket. You know, once upon a time it was me he took orders from. Me he trusted and listened to. Now all he cares about is his awful bucket. His
Even
stupid
paintings
hunk
for
of
them.
metal.
Wow. That's insane. L to ignore anyone in your life except for me. Wow.
It's sad, but I suppose he doesn't need me anymore. From now on, he's just going to cling to this bucket, this cold, empty bucket, this
Simping
sort
for a
of
bucket.
shiny bucket. Well, I'll give it this. The bucket does have a nice shine to it.
I don't think so. You believe I'm real, don't you, Stanley?
Yes, I suppose on closer inspection that it doesn't quite look like your average hardware store bucket. It's just a little more, what am I trying to say? Sturdier, more capable of transporting liquid. Like it would be better at moving an amount of water from one room to another.
Okay. Uh-oh.
Oh my God, what am I saying? Better at carrying water from room to room. It's a bucket. It's literally just a bucket. Why do I feel some need to point out the ways in which it's so much more than just a regular bucket?
Well, it does have telekinetic abilities or something. Oh no, telepathic.
Oh no. I'm having feelings for the bucket. Oh, no. What's going on? Why do I want to be with the bucket? Hear what the bucket has to say. Do anything it asks. What's wrong with me? I don't understand. Perhaps if I had the bucket, this would be less confusing. Yes.
No.
The bucket could tell me what to do in this troublesome situation. Stanley, give me the bucket. Give it to me. Give me the bucket, Stanley. I need it. Give it to me now. Give it or I'll...
Jazz music stops playing. Go back to work, Stanley. Okay.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Well, he's still here.
Stanley lifted the bucket into his arms, and a wave of comfort rushed over him.
Okay, well.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
If you looked around the last room, well, decoration on the bucket. Oh. Oh. Well.
still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd find answers.
Can I? Yeah.
Oh, Stanley, can you feel it? The broom closet. It wants the bucket. You can feel that, can't you? The aura of jealousy? It's as clear as day. This broom closet believes it deserves the bucket. I can really feel it now.
Oh,
it's a bucket.
okay,
It belongs in a broom closet. That's what the broom closet is trying to say here. It's supposed to go with the other cleaning supplies. Good for you, Stanley. Don't give in. Don't hand over the bucket. I know how hard it must be, given the pressure that the broom closet is putting on your shoulders right now, but you have to be strong. This is your bucket. This is your companion and lifelong friend. You can't hand it over. Oh, no. We're getting into name-calling now, it seems. Is this how low the broom closet has sunk, that it has to resort to this stream of petty insults simply in order to get you to hand over the bucket? Stanley, I never liked this broom closet for a variety of reasons, but even this is worse than I had imagined. And wait, now the broom closet has the gall to imply that you and the bucket are not truly deep and lasting friends? That your relationship is purely superficial and convenient?
Who the
that
hell
your life
wrote
is
these
so
dialogues?
banal and meaningless that you'd feel the same sort of kinship towards any inanimate object which happened to lay in your path in an even partially enticing manner? Well, I never. Go on, Stanley. Lay into it. Really tell the broom closet off for its demeaning comments. Expand on the wide variety of experiences you and the bucket have shared together. Go through each of them point by point. Share your journal entries detailing the rich emotional landscape of your feelings for the bucket as they have changed and evolved over the years. Let him have it.
Freaking Yandere. Screw your
Okay,
broom closet.
I've got you something which I think will help settle this debate once and for all. Here we go. There. Now it's settled. No more debate, no more discussion. Take our... Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Hey.
You found one of them. One of the miniature Stanley figurines. Remember, no reward for collecting all of these, only the intrinsic pleasure of a job well done. You can't buy that sort of happiness, Stanley. God knows I've tried. So, I implore you to savor each and every moment you come across one of these beautiful figurines.
Right. Alright, hold on. So you guys, I think that I'm gonna cut it for here. Getting a little bit tired and I need to get some sleep. Unfortunately, I don't have that Martin Stupin's resilience of playing through a game for 30 hours. It's unfortunate that you don't get anything from collecting them, but well. I will continue the game and try to beat it, at least. But otherwise, thanks for participating here in the stream. Hopefully we can do something a bit more fun next time with either the game or something else. There have been some recommendations sent my ways of different games to play, and yeah, I think that I want to stream a bit more here. Of course, I do still stream on Twitch for those of you who may want to visit there, but the new schedule I think will be on Wednesdays and Fridays where I'll be streaming. So I'll also leave that on the new update for the channel page. So yeah, for any newcomers, they will know that there. But for you who may wonder when the schedules are, you can watch that to be updated. So yeah, That said, though, have a good night and see you next time. Bye bye.